What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action sporting in the left side of the map in the spamming 11 taunt. His name is Yoshii, and he is playing Zeus. His opponent today in the red color playing as Thor. It says it's Thor's horse head, but I believe this account here is indeed Shadowfax. The map is... do you guys tell me what it is? Because I don't feel like you've ever seen this map before. What does that mean? If you've never seen it before, then maybe it's one of those new spicy maps that came with competitive mega random. Competitive mega random. Yes, it is. And it is a fun time to be had. That is for sure. Both players struggling at the start of the game. So this is the the most exciting. I love the bands. I can't. All right. The most exciting thing about these maps is that the guys, they have to think on their feet. They really have to work out what's going to happen in the game, what they need to do, what the best strategy is as soon as the game starts. This specific map spawn here comes with berry bushes, gold mine, trees, no hunt in the starting line of sight. Both players having that issue that they have to deal with at the start of the game, meaning those optimal build orders that we talk about, or that I talk about, a lot of the times aren't possible. So you have to have very good adaptation skills here, as we are indeed seeing Mr. Shadowfax moving out, finally finding his deer over here. And sometimes when we have those problems, what ends up happening is that well, you have some really rough classical ages, and some weird stuff can happen. But if you adapt really well, you can have a much funner time. And we are seeing now one of the perks of Norse going to be coming in onto this game here, with Shadowfax going to be able to move straight onto his Aurochs over here, and Yoshii going to be moving over here onto his own Aurochs. And we did see the players say, man, it's like Oasis except without the zebra. Well, not exactly. I mean, yep, it is Oasis. Yep, this is an Oasis map. There you go. Even competitive mega random has got Oasis. We can't escape it. It's not a bad map by any stretch, but yes, it's basically this map here. If I was to guess, I would basically say it's a weird version of Oasis, maybe even upwards of medium hunt Oasis, with those 3 Aurochs and the deer over here. Maybe low hunt-ish, but more medium hunt. High hunt Oasis would be the idea. As we are seeing the temple getting dropped, the house getting dropped, and one of the reasons why the rule set are, so when we're going to be watching the tournament, there's a specific rule set that we're going to be following, and that rule set is the meta plays rule set. We want to be seeing every player playing on their strong gods, but we also don't want to be seeing certain gods being only picked. And for example, if there is a god that is super strong, say for example, maybe it could be Set, maybe it could be Uranus, maybe it could be Zeus, we wouldn't want to see just that god picked for the entirety of the tournament. So we're going to be seeing players have to play multiple different gods in the tournament. You can only win with... Yeah, you can't win with the same god twice, basically. So best of 3s, you're gonna have to play 2 separate gods. Best of 5s, you're gonna have to play 3 separate gods. Best of 7s, you're gonna have to play 4 separate gods, and best of 9s, you're gonna have to play 5 separate gods. And the best of 9 is the finals. So lots to look forward to when we get to it. Relics on the map, I don't know if I've looked at them yet. We do have the Titans treasure, negative 25% cost for Secrets of the Titans here. And we've also got on this location here a large gold mine. No, it is the Trio's bow plus 2 archer, ballista, Kyra ballista, line of sight, and range. Oh, Yoshii losing a villager. You hate to see it, but you do see it. As Athena coming through for Yoshii. A very late Athena to boot. I'm surprised to see him sticking with Athena going up this late, but he might just be thinking about getting a second town center here, as we've already got our classical age through for Shadowfax. He's going to be dropping his longhouse. He's got his house over here as well. And we'll see if he throws up buildings on this location or not, but it just seems like he's going to be hanging out here and seeing what he can do. Yoshi's got so many resources in the bank. For an advanced time... a little bit of a mistake there, but the hearse are going to be wandering forward here as the villagers walk over here to get this down center up, and Yoshii is going to be having an interesting game here, to say the very least. The villagers get pulled off of this gold mine over here, going to be making their way over onto the wood to try and build some buildings. We've got the walls coming up over here as the hearse. I'm not sure if it quite sees the villagers getting the town center up or not, but Shadowfax here throwing up the double longhouse, getting himself the other house up. Just needs to wait on that extra gold to throw up a town center. He might be thinking about getting this one. He might be thinking about getting this one. Doesn't really matter, though the bottom one seems a little bit safer than the top one, considering the distance between the maps. But we'll see how it's all going to go, as the Herser here trying to get a couple of hits onto the Minotaur before retreating away. Nice play there from Shadowfax to get that little bit of chip damage done. And he's just going to be retreating back home as more houses coming up over here. Still no town center just yet for Shadowfax. A bit surprised that it is delayed it this long, but maybe just didn't have the resources for it. A little bit too over worried about Athena, especially even if you go for a late Athena. The idea is not necessarily to win straight away if you go for this late of an Athena. The idea is that you just spam military units and you try and get a gold starve with potentially Lightning Storm or Underworld or something like this. As we see the final little bits of Auroch getting finished up here. We do have a handful of pigs in the base here for Shadowfax as well, but he will have to be thinking about farms. So too will Yoshii have to think about farms, and Yoshii has had to leave said Auroch over there, as he does lose another villager here. Villager differential here. He's got 3 villager advantage, 4 villager advantage for Yoshii, but he has lost 2 already, so Shadowfax got to be happy about that. Population differential is at a very, very high amount right now, as Shadowfax 71 pop to Yoshii's 40 population. Just going to continue to look for some of these raids. But the wall's going to finish up here for Yoshii, and he's going to feel very, very safe, very, very defensive in this position. And we'll see how he's going to go and what he's going to use with that as the game continues on. He's going to retreat his units back home, start getting villagers onto his berries over here, onto his pigs. There's no more food on the map here. There's no extra berries or anything like that. So it is definitely going to be somewhat of a farming game, as the plow coming through for Yoshii. For Shadowfax here, he's not yet getting any of that. One thing that I wouldn't mind here for our Norse player is to rush to the heroic age, delay farming as much as you can, get yourself double hill fort, go Huskull throwing axemen into farms a little bit later. That way you can get straight into winter harvest, irrigation kind of situation where your farms give yourself a lot of value instead of sticking yourself in the classical age for a very long time. But that's not what's going to happen here. So we're starting to see more farms getting dropped down over here for Yoshii. Yoshii loves building his buildings like this. I'm not sure if there's any serious reason for this. He can fit his farms in, I think, here. But this effectively is it just looks pretty. And there's one thing I do love about players is when they care about their city design. And we're playing a game in the Age of Empires series. The big ticket selling point that Age of Empires actually is that it is a base building game. And if you make your base look pretty, then we love you forever. And both players kind of have a fairly decent idea of what pretty means. But basically it just means make sure you're kind of walling everything in and making usage of your buildings, blocking your opponent from getting from place to place. Is the general idea. As Hall of Fame's coming through for our Norse player here. I love this player actually. The Hall of Thane's upgrade gives your Hersa extra HP. But not only that, giving them speed means they can get onto the enemy Toxotes much easier. And then you can essentially just go for Hersa throwing Axemen against the Greek army and just have a really, really fun time here. As we see Labyrinth of Minnows coming through there for Yoshii for a second before he rethinks it. He's like, oh, my opponent's got a whole metric shit ton of Hersa. So no myth units for me, he says. Really the only way to deal with the Hersa here is to be getting Hypaspist out. So we'll have to see that happen when it can happen for Yoshii. Has he stopped building military units? Kind of. He's getting himself a little bit of upgrades here. Just deciding what to do. A little bit of housing crisis as he's going to have to sort that one out. Farm starting to come through for Shadowfax as he's going up through Skadi here. No problems. He has dealt with this map like a true champion. The adaptability of these players is a lot better than one might have guessed, given what we see on forums from time to time, where it's like, man, players, the old experts are so much better because the maps were so bad. They had to like react to so much different stuff and they had to think on their feet and all this other stuff. But these guys are thinking on their feet really, really nicely thus far. Not making any really critical mistakes here, overcoming some pretty unlucky early game scouting, as we do see this raiding cavalry getting away with 1 HP, finishing off that Minotaur there. Might be able to heal this one back up and use it a little bit later or something like that, but we'll see how it's going to go, as the Heroic Age is bound to be coming through for Yoshii fairly soon here. I wouldn't be surprised to see anything other than Apollo for Yoshii in this game, as that's the Apollo. Going to be cutting those villages and advancing, and Shadowfax now getting up to 3 town centers. Should be thinking about getting himself, well, maybe he doesn't even need to. He should be thinking about getting to the Heroic Age here. I mean, Mythic Age here after he throws down some more of this stuff. But maybe better would be to just simply get his farms going and make sure his economy is nice and strong here. But this does give the Zeus player Yoshii a lot of time to get going, to deal with everything. He's got plenty to think about here in terms of what he wants to do. He's going to be grabbing his 3rd town center as well. Villager differential for Yoshii, very much in favor of him. He's got himself 11 villager advantage, which is a big deal, getting this town center up. The thing here with Shadowfax is that he's actually over-militarized in a big way. So he needs to fight right now. He needs to make room for his villages. There's a way in which you can cut military production and not do this, but Shadowfax hasn't done it, so he has to force a fight in a way. He does have Frost, and he does have a big ability now to push in here and get a lot of damage done, forcing Yoshii to spend all of his resources now, making those Hypaspis very, very smart as the building's getting torn down. And now Shadowfax able to start targeting down the town center as the Heracles going to be getting built out. We see the bronze shields of Thor coming through for Shadowfax, as well as the town center going to be getting torn down. We do see the Frost Giant gets killed there as the Frost gets dropped down on this position. Only hitting a handful of villages though. Seemingly 3 villages here have been targeted down as the town center getting torn to pieces, but throwing Axemen, not the best at killing off buildings. The town center going to come up and get repaired. Might even be seeing a restoration getting thrown down here to just make sure he holds on to this, but Yoshii, he needs these farms to be getting gathered from to make sure that he can continue to stay alive here and make those very, very necessary Hypaspis as restoration and bolt gets thrown down here, and it does seemingly look like Yoshii has held the initial push here from Shadowfax. But now Shadowfax can start getting those villages back out. Let's check out his economic upgrades. Still no irrigation. He's getting himself 100 sacks. It's a big mistake here from Shadowfax, I would say, and I don't think he's quite reacted to the fact that Hypaspists are coming or have been trained. When Hypaspists come, you need to be making raiding cavalry and stop investing so heavily into infantry units. But that hasn't happened just yet. We do have fortified town centers already through for Shadowfax here as well. As the Frost Giant going to come in and try and take down the military academy. The units here for Yoshii going to be pushing this one back here. As Winter Harvest coming through, Huntress Axe coming through as well. As maybe the answer in this game is going to be Ragnarok. Push in, Gold Star. This gold mine is going to be expired by the time a Ragnarok comes in. But yeah, we've already going to have those heavy Haspists out, potentially more as well behind it. Yoshii's economy is pretty gigantic, but so too is now Shadowfax's economy is at 67 villages. Both players are at 67 villages, and at this point it feels to me as if Yoshii cannot really fight this Norse army too easily here. As the Heracles here getting targeted down, might want to garrison that one in the town center to make sure it doesn't get sniped down too easily. But the real question here is, who gets to the Mythic Age first? Do we have a market? The market going to be getting thrown down here in the very corner of the map for Yoshii. As the units here throwing down the market here for Shadowfax. Now, Shadowfax is known for not going Ragnarok. It's super all in. He doesn't like it. He'd prefer to try and beat you with his late game skills. As he does buy his way up through tier, buying that final little bit of food. So he's going to have a big push here with Fimbulwinter, going to do a ton of damage to Yoshii's economy. And Yoshii's just going to have to ask the question, or answer the question, like, how can you defend both the economic damage and the timing that's going to be coming through right now? And I wouldn't be surprised to see towers getting thrown up here for Shadowfax, as well as Ballista getting starting to get created as well. As now Yoshii finishing off these walls, and the walls are already up here for Shadowfax. But one thing you can do is throw some military buildings down and start bashing through here to try and sneak in some side builds as well. And definitely getting in onto this location would be a really, really good idea for Yoshii to start targeting down this town center here. As Hephaestus is coming through as well for Yoshii, and that Fimbulwinter is going to hit very, very soon here. 65% of the way through. We've got Shaft Mine, Carpenters, Median Cavalry coming through. Another Armory getting dropped down right on the front for whatever reason here. There's more military buildings getting produced. We see the couple of units getting deleted here to try and make room for some more portable rams so that the army can push through here. A smart move to do that and make sure he's got some sort of advantage there. How are the armory upgrades actually looking? Probably could get some more armor with those excess resources, but it seems like Shadowfax is saving that for maybe champion infantry as the immediate Fimbulwinter gets thrown down here. The army going to be attempting to defend this as best as they possibly can. We do have that hero, that Heracles, going to drop over here and try and tank up those Fimbulwinter wolves. Meanwhile, moving over here, trying to take out the Frost Giant in the back. Yoshii drops down to 128 of 130 population. The villagers move forward, going to try and take down these portable rams. We don't have any of those spicy ballista to come through just yet, and it is kind of looking like a little bit of nightmare here for Yoshii, as he's not able to, well, he's actually able to hold here, but he's definitely hurting for economy. Getting flood control is what our Norse player Shadowfax is feeling like doing. He's got so many resources in the bag, just needs to be spending those as fast as he can. Champion infantry going to be coming in. We've also got potential for Fenris wolves to be getting spammed out, but that's not the unit of choice here for Shadowfax. And Shadowfax does break through on the top corner of the map here, going after this gold mine. Going to be trying to throw down some side builds through here as well. We do see an underworld passage getting dropped, as very, very rightly so. Yoshii is realizing, hey, all I got to do is make sure I don't give up this location over here and I hold this town center. I might be okay here, especially given the plenty vault that he's just got. He has dropped down to 57 villages, unfortunately. Needs to be rebuilding those villages as fast as he possibly can here. We've already got ourselves champion infantry through, though for Shadowfax's economy is absolutely gigantic. And now he's going to start throwing up towers over here. He's getting the sentry tower down as the portable ram going to be making its way forward here. Frost Giants coming forward as well. We do have the Bellerophon flying in, going to try and take down this Frost Giant here. He's going to start taking down the town center. One quick hurl at the town center. He's going to have to pull back, but he's going to just get sacrificed. He's going to die anyways. As you do see, the Frost Giant has managed to freeze the Colossus, but that's about all he could get where that's concerned here. Forge of Olympus 75% of the way through, but the problem is, even with Forge of Olympus getting built, Shadowfax is going to be at full Thor unique armory upgrades, I would say, before full iron comes through for Yoshii. So there's not going to be any sort of timing here for Yoshii to get that Forge of Olympus through and find some advantage where that's concerned. Villagers still trying to come through for Yoshii. We see that Levy Longhouse Soldiers upgrade Levy coming through for Shadowfax. Very important to get that one for side builds because it's going to be able to spam those units out and get what he needs out here, as we do see also the Stonewall upgrade has come through. Still big advantage here for our Thor player trying to break through this location. He's getting the portable ram onto this spot here. Still no ballaster getting created. Bit of a mistake, I would say. The ballaster really good. Lots of resources in the bank here for our Norse player. He doesn't have full up armory upgrades just yet. He could definitely be thinking about getting those, as it does seem to me like Yoshii is kind of stabilizing here in a way. He's at 132 of 160 population. So too is our Norse player Shadowfax at 130 population. The Colossus is going to be breaking through here. We've got a bit of a tech switch into Great Jarl as we're waiting on Champion Cavalry to come through as well. But he's not producing them from all of his hill forts here, as he's trying desperately to hold on. But once the Great Jarl come out, that's the ticket to start going into Myrmidon. And once you get Myrmidon and start getting Heliopoli behind it to boot, there's not really a good answer for the Norse player to deal with those. So there is a bit of a timing here that our Norse player Shadowfax is on, as Iron Weapons of Thor coming through, Iron Shields of Thor coming through, Rhyme coming through, and Architects coming through as well for Shadowfax. He's going to have a very strong army here. He has managed to throw down this watchtower over here to try and target down this gold mine. There's a little bit of gold over here as well. The trade route has not started just yet for Yoshii. He realizes he doesn't have the food to make it just yet, and there are those Myrmidon coming through to try and take down the watchtower. You see the tower getting broken through here as Bellerophon doing his darndest, get in and do that little bit of damage that he needs to do. Metropolis rolling forward, going to try and take down the hill fort over here as well, as the army retreating back here, and I'm jumping around, prancing on this army. And at this point, Shadowfax has to realize that this is not a winning fight for him. He is not winning this fight. He's getting pushed back consistently. He has to figure out somewhere else to go. This tower getting picked off, however it was picked off, potentially through the underworld passage, Metropolis or something went, and the Colossus is going to continue pushing in here. As the army of Shadowfax, it's scarily strong. He's got some decent upgrades, but against Myrmidon, even if it's just heavy Myrmidon, it's just not quite enough. And then we see Bellerophon retreating back to the temple. I love this. This is... Yoshii is a man after my own heart. He understands how much value you get from healing the Bellerophon up at the temple. You get so much. 400 gold, effectively we'll just call it 1 gold a HP, and the temple is healing at 20 HP a second. So you're effectively getting, it's probably more than this, but you're probably getting 20 gold a second while healing underneath the temple here. As the army here from Shadowfax is still pushing in. He's getting himself Hammer of the Gods here to hold on. Well, not hold on, to give him even more of a advantage, an extra 10%. Is it just 10%? Where's the other armory? There it is. Sorry for the spammage. I can't jump onto it. Yeah, it's an extra 10% hack damage, but every little bit is very good. You see the hill fort getting taken down. Bellerophon, 150 HP, has to retreat back, and she has to go and heal that one back up. But again, every time he gets away, gets that HP back, he's going to be having a fun time there. Still no effort at breaking through here. Do we have bravery? Not just yet, no bravery, but bravery through this location, sneaking in, getting some barracks in over here. Always a good idea. as we do see bravery is indeed coming down. We see the Colossus getting taken out as the armies still engaging each other. Still no final champion upgrades here for Yoshii, and he's still only not quite at full bronze. So his army is not trading efficiently just yet, and the pressure that Shadowfax is able to continue putting on here is doing very, very nice things here, as we see the champion Huskar have made it through here. Will he go after the underworld passage or what? He's going straight after the villagers here. This is actually some very, very key amounts of damage that Shadowfax is doing here as the villagers retreat through the underworld, and the army coming through here to beat Shadowfax back here, as now Shadowfax is getting set up with more watchtowers. It could be time to start getting those Karaballister we're talking about up. Now there is a problem with Karaballister. A small problem is that Bellerophon is out. However, the answer to Bellerophon is crenellations, towers, and walls. So you build the ballaster, you put them behind walls. When the Bellerophon jumps in and takes out the ballaster, the towers will immediately target down the Bellerophon, and she will die, or he will die, very, very quickly here. You see the Colossus does get frozen as an attempt to try and break down this location is coming through. More units going to be streaming in onto this position here for Shadowfax. Very smart to continue pressuring this spot. The villagers over here trying to get that gold income in a bit of a difficult position. We've got Meteoric Iron, Mail, Dragon Scale Shields coming through for Shadowfax as well, because he's just got so many resources in the bank. He's going to be able to get up to that fully upgraded Thor armory, and that's going to make his units incredibly strong. Very rarely do we get to see Thor players getting to this point, and now the Ballaster are up. You'll be able to start taking down this town center as very, very nice amounts of pushing coming in here for Mr. Shadowfax, as he's managed to control this location. We see the Bellerophon continually getting pushed back, even sitting underneath this he's kind of getting out healed in a way. Throwing action and not doing enough damage. But the Ballaster to take down this town center is Yoshii. Not enough resources in the bank, does not have enough trade just yet. The Ballaster do a lot of damage. We are seeing the Petropolis dealing some good damage here to deal with these towers, but a couple of throwing axemen throwing up towers to boot is going to be enough to help them stay alive. We see the legendary Jarl trying to take down the Petropolis here with the champion Myrmidon. Not going to be fast enough to actually stop the Petropolis from dying here, and the town center does look like it is about to be falling. But meanwhile, we've got a Colossus raid coming through on this position. Yoshii sees that it's not there's no real opportunity for him to hold now. He's gonna have to give up this town center and go for broke on a separate town center. You see the Myrmidon pushing through here, the champion Hoplites pushing through here as well. The villagers, the dwarves pulling off of this location. The hill fort are going to be getting taken down behind it. The town center getting targeted down. The army going to be pushing in, trying to grab this town center for himself. I'd love to see the underworld passage get taken down here by Shadowfax, but Yoshii smartly deciding to make this move forward here. We see the Bellerophon pushing in here, trying to finish off these Ulfsark, which are dealing with the Colossus, and now town centers might get traded here. Potential for that is very, very real, as this town center not going to be able to get grabbed just yet, and even though Shadowfax has drawn first blood on the town center kill, he's gonna a long path ahead of him, it would seem, as we do see a Frost Giant does manage to get in here, does manage to pick off the Colossus, but only one. There is one remaining, as the Myrmidon and Hoplites can start taking down this town center though. But problem for Yoshii is not very much gold in the bank, and while this is going on, smartly we do see our side builds have started to come in for our Thor player Shadowfax. He's getting these walls up very, very nicely here. Going to be able to put an end to the trade route. Town center now coming down for Shadowfax. Just one throwing axeman on this one, with towers coming up, playing it very safely here. Meanwhile, the Colossus side raid here from Yoshii has been put to rest, and in that moment, Yoshii does decide to tap out. GG, an incredibly good game here from Shadowfax, showing off that every single god is going to be decent in one variation of this map or another, which is why this map is going to be such a fun thing for the tournament. And you don't know which one to pick. You just have to pick a god and just hope. Lots of luck in here as well. But An incredibly fun game here from Shadowfax. Nice attempt here from Yoshii. I feel like had he maybe not used the underworld to defend here and maybe defended it a little bit easier, with an easier way without using a god power, he could have used the underworld to maybe attack back town center or something while this was all getting set up. Who knows? But GG, well played nonetheless. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.